you said you barely went to school, then you go to college, and now you write a book. I mean, those are pretty, I mean, those are God moments. So I am here with Pastor Jason Smock. We are at Teen Challenge in Sanford. He is the author of I Shouldn't Be Here, an amazing testimony. It's a really quick read, but I can tell you it is well written. So, I mean, let's talk about the book. What made you share your story? I mean, because it is a beautiful story.
Yeah, well, when I lived in Alabama, we were in the process of becoming missionaries, you know, and I was in that process and I was doing some fundraising. This is before we ever went to the field. And I preached in a church down in South Alabama, and I was in a district meeting months later, and the pastor said, you know, Jason, you should do your testimony, a video testimony, and just be encouraging. And I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, you know, okay. And I was raising money in Georgia at a friend of mine's church, and I told him, I said, you know, he told me to do a video series, but I said, you know, I'm thinking about maybe just doing a book. The pastor friend of mine who helped me write the book, he said, you know, he said, I think that'd be good. He said, I'd be honored to help you write it.
So how was the book writing process for you?
The pastor friend of mine who helped me write it, he wrote it, most of it. For me, the challenging part was remembering, because I had to go all the way back to childhood, and, you know, probably from 15, 16 years old or younger, I don't have much memory. I don't know if that's because of the drugs. And so my mom helped me quite a bit, because she's mom and she has lots of good memories and a good memory bank. But that was probably the hardest challenge, was remembering. I
know for my experience, kind of going through my testimony, the Lord kind of had me write it out, and it's a little bit of a messy process. I mean,
yes,
it is kind of unearthing some traumas and some hurts that led you to that place. I mean, was there more healing? Did you find more healing in the writing process?
A little bit. And some things, I think God, as it came up as I was writing, you know, we're prone to forget, I think, and for whatever reason. But as I dredged that stuff up, it kind of renewed my gratefulness to God for all He's done for me.
Have your children read it?
They've read a little bit of it, you know, parts of it. My son picked it up and he read a little bit of the first chapter, which is, it's not pretty.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, it's really sad.
It's almost like you're talking about a different person sometimes when you're talking about your...
Yeah, because they don't know that.
Yeah.
So, you know, for him to say that, it helps me understand, even on a deeper level, what God's done.
Amen.
You know, and so it's interesting, but I'm thankful, you know what I mean?
You know, one of the things that I have found as a challenge, I'm curious, as a fellow aspiring author, there's parts of my testimony that other people don't look so favorable.
Right.
I have an awareness of the need for authenticity. You definitely want to make sure that the truth is being told, but how do you handle it when there's other people that's part of your testimony that is not favorable?
I kind of live by this rule that I only share it if I think it will be beneficial. Some people aren't going to be comfortable with the transparency, and they don't upset me, you know what I mean? But I feel like I'm obligated to be honest and to honor God in that honesty and to celebrate what He's done.
Amen.
You know? And so, you know, if they don't like it, that's okay, you know what I mean? I don't let it get to me.
So how has the majority of your family reacted? Because I shouldn't be here. I mean, that gives a good indication of maybe what you came from.
I mean, my mom, I don't think she had trouble with it, but I think she was maybe a little surprised by how brutally honest I was, you know, and I was that way because so many people suffer in isolation with these same issues. And so to let them know that, hey, it's all right, man, God loves you, He's got a plan for your life, and just be real and honest. You'll be all right, you know. God's not surprised by any of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He sees us for who we are, you know, and He knows what I'll never forget when I was in college, I felt like He said to me, you know, I knew what I was getting into when I saved you, Jason. So none of me surprises Him.
Yeah.
You know, and so you gotta be okay with that, and to let people know that, you know, God feels that way about them as well.
What would you say to someone that has a pretty powerful testimony? I think, you know, we are saved by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And
Right.
testimony, for me personally, I came to the Lord as an adult, and I was constantly listening to testimonies. This sounds terrible, but almost the more traumatic, the more reassured I got.
Right.
Because I was like, okay, then it's real. Like, then
Right.
my salvation is real. If he could
Right.
if he could save Jason from this, then he could save me
Right.
too.
And I think that helps people.
Yeah,
You know, nobody knows everything about everybody.
right.
There's stuff people are just not going to tell you. You know what I mean? And so I think if you can be open and honest about your own life, not that it means that they're going to go be open and honest about everything, but it gives them hope that if, like you said, that if God did it for him, he can do it for me.
How do we start? How do I start to write a book? Like, I have a testimony, where do I start?
I would just write it out. You may not know what to put, or you may feel like you've put in too much. I would just say, just write the whole thing out. Be as detailed as you can, and be as transparent as you want to be, or you feel like you should be, and that can add value to people and give them hope. And then after you write it, you know, you're going to have to go through it and probably trim some stuff out and do some stuff.
So how long did it take?
Gosh, I was overseas, and he was pastoring and working 2 jobs with a family as well, so probably took us a little longer than what we wanted, but it was probably a solid 3 years or so, 3 or 4 years.
What? But I mean,
From start to finish. And there's a lot of months that he couldn't do it, I couldn't do it. It's just life, and so, but
I'm honestly, I love that. It took time, and you're working, you have family, you have kids. That doesn't mean
but you shouldn't do it.
that you shouldn't do it. You still do it.
Yeah.
Get it out and
Yeah.
work through, even if you have to take pauses.
Yeah.
Because this is a powerful tool. So you write this, but this is missions. So talk to us about what you do now that you have it. It's done. It's here.
What I do is, you can get it on Amazon for $13. All the money, I don't keep any money, you know, and so the money goes to missions, both home and foreign missions. The money that goes to home missions, some of it goes here. You know, they sell the books on storefronts, and they sell them at, you know, at church rallies. And then the portion I keep goes to foreign missions. But the other part goes, if it's outside of Teen Challenge where they're being sold, then half of it goes to Georgia, to the pastor friend of mine who helped me write the book. They have a serious drug addiction in South Georgia. It's one of the poorest counties in the Southern Hemisphere. We just recently bought like $1,200 worth of curriculum for a transitional house that's faith-based, to help them get all their curriculum, like living free and different things, to help them have a solid curriculum-based discipleship program. So
That's awesome.
And so that's what that first chunk has gone to.
What a legacy. I mean,
Yeah, I'm trying. It's, you know,
That's
just
fantastic.
try and do what you can, you know. It's amazing. So
it is
anything
amazing.
anything that's done in anybody's life that's changed, you know, it's to the glory of God.
Well, I just want to thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your transparency.
Yeah.
Thank you for the work that you're doing here at Teen Challenge. I mean, it's important work, I think, more than ever. So if you would like to be a blessing to Teen Challenge, visit their website. Check out the book on Amazon. The links are going to be below. But we appreciate you coming on this adventure with us. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, tell people about the work that's being done here at Teen Challenge. And here at One Love, just remember, it starts with one, and it starts with you.